The Virtual Boys have been playing Nintendo since they were little. These many years of experience have made them experts in the field. Or at least, they think so. Join them this week as they talk about donning the perfect green outfit, why it's so hard to get an SNES Classic, and potential movies and shows with Nintendo characters. You're listening to the Virtual Boys podcast by GlitchxCity. This podcast is done by four friends that talk about anything and everything Nintendo. Check out our website at nintendcity.com and be sure to follow us on your social network of choice. Please be sure to subscribe and share us with your friends. Oh, and please enjoy our show. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Virtual Boys podcast, a Nintendo podcast about Nintendo things. This is episode 57, and I'm your host, David. I'm excited for Yoshi's Island on SNES. Joining me today are Jordan.
I'm excited for Secret of Mana, because I've never played that one.
And Skylar.
What's your favorite game on the SNES, Mac? Mine's chocolate.
And James.
I just want to play Super Metroid on the SNES. That's all I want to do.
Well, it's a good game, and I love Super Metroid. But, of course, all four of us are excited to play Star Fox 2. But we'll talk about that in a later point in the episode. Anyway, thanks for joining me.
Get one.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining me today, guys. This week we're going to talk about the anticipation for the Zelda DLC that launches tonight, well, as of this recording tonight, and then we'll move to the SNES Classic Edition with Star Fox 2's triumphant release. Then we'll move our thoughts on to the external interest Nintendo has for their IPs. They mentioned a form of anime that could be coming for some of their big IPs. But anyway, let's welcome back Jordan. It's been an awful long time since you've joined us. You missed our big E3 episode, and did you enjoy E3? What were your thoughts?
I thought this E3 was kind of lackluster, to be honest.
I agree.
Nintendo came and won simply because they had games.
Lots games.
Lots of games.
The others. So, like, Sony showed a lot of cool stuff, but everything was 2018 or unspecified on release dates, so it's hard to get really excited. Plus, everything they showed was already shown last year, and it kind of was like, here is a rehash of last year's. Also, it's a teaser for next year's E3. So, I don't know. It just seems like a really bad position. They did give us Monster Hunter World, which looks really sweet. It's everything I wanted out of a Monster Hunter game, because I'm casual scum. A lot of the Monster Hunter fan base hates this game. Like the core fans, they think this is going to basically casualify Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Because it's being geared towards a Western audience, hence why it's on console rather than Switch and 3DS. Also, I don't know how much credibility this rumor has, but before Monster Hunter Worlds was announced, there was a leak going around online on 4chan, I believe, that said at the Sony conference they're going to announce a new Monster Hunter. It'll be called Monster Hunter Worlds, which happened. And the reason why it's not on Switch is because Sony paid off Capcom specifically not to put it on Switch. So kind of a low blow. I don't even know if it would run. They might have just...
Yeah.
But I don't know. It looks good. I'm really excited. Ironically, I'm probably not going to get it on PS4. I'm probably going to get it for PC because Monster Hunter is a game I play with friends, and I don't want to pay for online service.
that makes perfect sense.
Especially after you already pay for online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, not getting it on PS4. Otherwise, I would have gotten it on Switch because having it on handheld just means a lot more to me than having super amazing graphics on PC. Because then you can just go to your friends and do couch co-op, but whatever. I guess I'll have to survive with what I've got.
Right.
I was really hyped to see Metroid Prime 4, like every Nintendo fan out there. They didn't really show us anything, so I I'm hesitant to say it won the show because, for all we know, it could get canceled before we see anything of it.
I mean, it's possible, but they did mention after E3 that they're focusing on Metroid next year, and Samus Returns comes out this year, so the only other title that we have to go off of for Metroid's
There's
focus
no way
is
it's
Prime
coming
4.
out next year.
I don't
They
think
didn't
it will
even
be,
show
but
anything.
that's what they told us, is we're going to focus on it.
Okay, Nintendo is just leading everyone on.
Yeah,
with
probably.
like Star Fox Zero, they said the exact same thing. They actually had something to show with Star Fox Zero when they teased it, other than just a
It's true.
a GIF
A
or whatever.
logo.
A logo.
Yeah.
And they're like, it'll be out next year, and it took like what 2.5 years.
Yeah, that's
It
fair
took a
point.
while. I'm curious, just real quick, I'm curious when you say that there's going to be the focus next year, do you mean all their resources are going into it? Or are you saying that's going to be E3's focus?
No, not necessarily E3, but like the stuff that they're going to be advertising and talking about most. That's what I read. I mean, I could be totally off on that. I don't know where I saw it, but I did see it.
Well, we did have a representative say that Nintendo was trying to get for 2018, but it's not official. I personally think if it is going to be 2018, and I think, David, you agree with this, is that it would be late in the holiday, but I could easily see them pushing it back to 2019. But anyway, sorry, Jordan, to
I don't
cut
see it
you
for
off.
2020.
Yeah, I mean,
Hey,
this
you know-
is actually from Charlie Scavetta, one of the guys that deals
Communication
with marketing.
directors.
Yeah, communications director. He just says, we've announced a
Coordinator.
nice lineup through this year, and next year we will have some big games coming with Metroid 4. 2018 will be around Metroid, Kirby, Yoshi, and the new Pokemon game that has been announced. So that's what they're
Interesting.
focusing on next year, at least.
I
that's
wrote
what
an
they say.
article about that on the website.
Yeah.
So I guess then Metroid Prime will be their targeted holiday game.
Yeah, it probably won't happen, but they're aiming for it. So it might be further along in development than they let us believe. But anyway, you can.
Yeah,
you
they
can
clarified actually. If you read the what I wrote, it said that Nintendo later clarified and said it's 2018 and beyond. So
continue. Okay.
take that
Yeah.
take that as you will.
We'll see. I could see them having it fairly well along. They just didn't want to show anything in an unplayable state, and they probably didn't want to detract attention away from Mario Odyssey.
Oh, absolutely. That's
So they
probably,
probably-
the best reason.
They probably did it not as a marketing to try and get people to buy the Switch, even though it probably did get people really excited by the Switch, but more of a way to get the fans to quiet down after Federation Force and Other M and trying to like calm everything down, get all the hatred gone.
Well, could
Don't
you
worry.
imagine if we had Samus Returns? You know, they showed that and didn't see any 3D.
And not Prime 4?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I think that was the other thing. They were afraid that if they were to show Samus Returns for the 3DS, and then people would freak out. Why isn't Metroid on Switch?
Right.
Well, this
exactly.
way they were playing safe, basically.
yeah,
I think.
absolutely.
And no matter where this game is in development, it was definitely that in mind, trying to play it safe.
We'll probably see. It'll be at next E3. I don't think we'll see it until then, unless they show it
Yeah.
Oh, I agree.
at their
I
big
agree.
January thing. Samus Returns looks amazing.
Yay.
Really excited for that. I pre-ordered it.
Oh, I'm so excited to play this game.
Kind of bummed out that Europe got a much better deal than we did, but
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
It's like everything that's been happening lately. Getting the Splatoon specific controllers and everything.
And then Mario Odyssey looks amazing. I was really sold on that. Before I was cautiously optimistic, and now I'm just on the hype train.
Please let me have
Oh
it now.
man,
So
I'm so excited.
that
so good.
That looks really good. Really creative. They definitely stepped away from the blandness of 3D World.
Thank
and they're-
goodness.
Actually trying to put some more character back into Mario.
Yeah, and I think a lot of
Yeah.
that comes from Nintendo trusting the younger guys at the company than they were in the past. You know, like it's a different director. Miyamoto is just like a creative lead or something like that, a producer on this project, kind of like Aonuma was with Breath of the Wild. So it's nice to see fresh eyes and fresh minds on these big franchises that we love.
I really wish that they would change the human sprites to be a bit more, I don't know, stylistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, so so in the Mario world, who's the real human here? Is it Mario or are these the real humans? So
I
what
guess
does
they
that make
wanted
Mario?
to make them try and look a lot like Paulina, since she I don't know, looks like a different sort of race than Mario does.
Yeah, I mean,
True that.
Yeah, probably.
She looks like she's 10 feet tall. But
Well, that's like every girl in the Mario universe. They're all
Except for
wicked
Peach.
tall. Well, Peach is even taller than Mario.
yeah, but she's not like Goliath sized like Paulina is.
Yeah, like Pauline or
Yeah.
Rosalina.
Yeah.
Anyway. And then Waluigi's like 12 feet tall, so he just towers over everybody.
Yeah.
It's like scary man. Mario's supposed to be like 5'8" or something, like 5'10" or something like that.
It's pretty big. So did you have any... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to go over like all the big stuff that I was
Oh, yeah, keep going.
interested in.
Keep going.
The new Pokemon, they didn't show us anything, mostly probably because they did the, what was it, the Direct a week earlier.
Yeah.
And then people freaked out, oh, where's Project Stars? So they had to probably just announce this one to get people to quiet down and not be upset that Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon are coming out instead of a one for Switch. Which is
The worst
interesting
names ever.
because it looks like we're moving into 8th gen without a remake in between. So that'll be interesting.
It may well be.
So I guess Platinum and Pearl are going to be on the back burner for after Gen 8, which is fine. I mean, it'd be nice to have a playable Platinum and Pearl where it doesn't take 10 years for the HB bar to go down. But
Why can't I play these games? I just can't. They're so easy, too.
yeah, so it'll be interesting. And then what was the other thing? Oh, yeah. The other big game that interested me was Beyond Good and Evil 2. All the rumors about it being Switch exclusive were dead wrong. It's not even on Switch.
False. Not even on it.
But it looks really good. I still haven't played the first one, so I'm going to wait until roughly around the second one comes out to see if like they have an HD updated version that they put out to get, since it's been so long since the last one, to try and get people up to date.
They have a Beyond Good and Evil HD
Do they?
on
Okay.
Xbox.
Then I'll have to probably pick that up.
Yeah,
So-
it's on 360. You can get it there.
I'll probably pick that up then and play through it. It looks good. There's a lot of hype around it. I don't know anything about Beyond Good and Evil, so it'll be interesting.
I used to play it at my friend's house and on GameCube, and I remember it being a lot more kid friendly or like kind of family, friendly. Not like a let's all
rated
hold
T, wasn't
hands. No, I think it was like I think
It's rated T.
Oh, was it rated T?
Yeah.
The freaking I don't know, beginning spoilers. The beginning like children's the children's what do you call it? What do they call it? Like a foster home gets blown up and a lot of kids are turned into monsters. So
Oh,
I mean,
well,
shoot.
I don't know. I feel like it wasn't as edgy as this trailer,
Well, no.
as the second one. So
I think-
there's a lot of swearing and everything, and that's fine. I guess
I
it
think
can
they wanted
age.
this game to kind of grow up with its audience. I think it's
Yeah.
going after the traditional audience, not trying to rope in a lot of kids into it.
Right,
Right.
and,
People that have
and
been waiting for it.
so I understand the direction change. I mean, I would have liked it to kind of stay the same in that sense, yeah. But I understand why they did it, yeah. But I personally, yeah, I'm also excited to play it. I wish it was coming to the Switch, but the way it looks, like, I mean, it looks fantastic, and there's no way the Switch can run that.
That was basically my E3. Not a whole lot. It was kind of lackluster, as I said. Kirby, I guess, could be fun. I don't really care, I guess, until it shows up.
Yeah. It looked like a superstar from what I could tell.
Did it?
Just the way you-
Because a lot of
yeah,
people
the
are
way-
freaking out about how you can combine abilities like Kirby 64, but
That
they don't
too.
create new abilities. It's like Squeak Squad's version of combining abilities, not 64's. So that was kind of a
Yeah.
letdown. No
Yeah, but-
lightning swords.
The partners aren't all Kirby's this time. You befriend them like you did in a Superstar.
That's true.
So
It'll be interesting.
I enjoyed that. It'll be interesting because every single one of those partners play differently than Kirby.
Yeah.
If you've played a lot of Kirby Superstar, you know what I'm talking about.
And then Bethesda was really disappointing. I don't even know why they had a conference this year.
Oh my gosh.
I think
It was
this was just kind of... They should have just sent out an email, and that would have been better.
That would've
An
been
email.
just
That
good.
would have been perfect.
Just a press
Skyrim,
release.
guys.
It's like,
Here's
gosh.
a screenshot of the main character
Skyrim
wearing
trading
Link's
card?
clothes. That's it.
Well, I was also giving in to all the rumors circling around the internet that they're going to make another open world to go along with Fallout and Elder Scrolls, and it's going to be in space, and it came out to be a complete lie. So I got myself hyped up for no reason. Oh well.
Yeah, I feel like that's an issue for me too. I get too hyped, and then when that hype's not met, I get disappointed with that company's conference. So
just gotta keep your expectations really low.
Yeah.
Just keep them low forever, and then you're good.
But I think even with Bethesda, if Jordan hadn't gone in thinking that they were going to have the new open world adventure, I think he still would have came out disappointed. I mean, I came out disappointed.
One of the reasons why I was willing to believe in it was because they're paying how much money to have this conference, and what they have to have something to show, right? Because we all knew that there wasn't going to be a lot from Bethesda coming out this year. They could have pulled another Fallout 4 where they're like, hey, here's this game. Also, it's coming out this fall. But we got Wolfenstein, which is fine. It looks great, but I don't think it was conference on its own worthy.
Yeah.
But it didn't hold the conference on its own. So yeah, that was E3. Really kind of a letdown until Nintendo showed up, and then it was kind of a standard E3.
Yeah.
Standard E3 levels, nothing amazing, except for, well, we'll see with Prime 4 what happens.
I really like Nintendo's conference.
I really enjoyed it as well. Well, thanks for sharing your thoughts with us, Jordan. Let's move on to the Zelda DLC expansion.
Okay.
This is going to be the expansion pack numero uno. This expansion pack includes hard mode. It includes Trial of the Sword and some new costumes, which are Tinkle's outfit, the Phantom armor, the Korok mask, and Majora's mask. The Korok mask helps you find Korok seeds easier. It'll shake when you're close to a Korok. The Phantom armor gives you, what was it? Attack bonuses or something like that. Oh, I forgot Midna's helmet, which gives you Guardian resist. And Majora's mask helps you blend in with all enemy types. I mean, it's not perfect, but it helps you blend in. Are you guys going to play through the game again in hard mode?
Yes.
Yeah, I am too. Just get that out there.
Perhaps
I won't 100% it again, but I will.
Yeah, I'm not going to 100% it. No way.
I'm going to Naked 3 Heart run it.
That's what I want to do as well.
Do it, guys. For me, I'm still a little Zelda out. I know, shocking. I didn't even collect all 900 seeds. I got enough to upgrade your inventory all the way, and then everything else besides that. It's just, I don't know. I don't know if I'm quite ready to restart the game over again in hard mode. I do want to try the other things in this pack. But as for starting the game over in hard mode, I don't know if I'm quite ready to do that. But maybe I'll surprise myself and you know, start it over again, and then all of a sudden I'm hooked. I don't know,
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think hard mode's going to do much difference to the difficulty level of the game.
Yeah.
Right. But James, I'm kind of with you on that. I am really Zelda'd out right now too, after doing that whole month of doing nothing but playing Zelda and 100%ing everything. Mm-hmm. But I will. I'll probably play it within the next few months again. But I, like you, am also Zelda'd out for a little bit.
Yeah.
DLC's nice to get me to play it again, but I mean, I did play a lot of it.
Oh yeah, yeah, and I totally understand where you guys are coming from. I feel like I've taken enough of a break away from it, and honestly, I've been feeling the urge to go back to it, even after clearing the game 100% and doing the majority of it in a 3-heart run. I just feel like I want to give up on that 3-heart run and do a hard mode 3-heart run. I don't know why. I just want to, and
yeah.
I think it'll be a lot of fun. But if you are Zelda'd out, don't feel the pressure to just play it just because it's there now. I mean, this game demanded like over 150 hours from each of us, I think. And so if you're Zelda'd out, you're Zelda'd out, and it's all good.
Well, I mean,
150 hours across 2 game saves though, for me.
Mine's definitely 1, and it's probably close to like 200. I play super slow, but besides the point, I wouldn't 100% or try to get all the shrines again. At least I wouldn't. I don't think I would. But and I don't feel pressure to necessarily do it again. It's just I think there's other parts of this DLC that I would like to do, and that being the Trial of the Sword.
Yeah.
I want to do that more than restarting the game in hard mode, which I know is different from other people. Other people want to go right into hard mode automatically. But
I think I'm going to do Trial of the Sword first before I jumped in.
I'm going to do the same thing. I mean, the thing about Trial of the Sword that is so appealing to me is that it is literally that island challenge, but longer. You know, you're naked, you don't have any of your equipment, and you just go explore it. So, and that was one of the highlights of the entire game for me, was going to that island, being stripped down of all of my stuff and having to figure it out on my own again. And I think that's one of the main things that's compelling me to do Trial of the Sword first.
So my big problem right now, I am currently replaying through Fallout 3, and I am 3/4 the way through that. So now I'm going to be juggling through 2 massive open world games at the same time. Because I didn't know this was coming out so soon. I just heard today that it was coming out today.
I just started Fallout 3.
Did you?
Yeah.
Wonderful. We'll have to talk about it later.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we will. First time playing through it, so.
Well, hey, there you go.
It's a good game. I really wish they would put Fallout 4 on Switch instead of Skyrim. I think Fallout's better than Elder Scrolls.
I like both.
Yeah?
Yeah. So they're both great in their own ways.
So juggling,
that's another conversation for another time, I guess.
but so juggling 2 open world games is going to be challenging. I mean, I have enough of a hard time juggling all of the random little games that I'm playing. Like, I'm almost completely done with getting everything in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but I also want to clear ARMS with everybody, and I have Owlboy to play through on my computer because I was super excited that they announced it for Switch. I mean, I just have such a backlog of games, and now I'm going to play through Zelda again. It's just, whatever. That's my life. Just juggling games for me, because you guys know that I don't finish games all that often. It's a feat when I do.
I have to finish my games.
Yeah,
it bugs me when I don't finish mine. It's just like an unfinished save file sitting there.
For the most part, I'm the same way. If it's like Mario Kart, that's one that I can, put it down for a while and go finish a different game and then come back to it.
I have a lot of people in my house that are willing to play it with me, so
that's fun.
It's not too bad.
That's nice.
Yeah.
We play a lot of Mario Kart and a lot of ARMS together.
Yeah, we do at my house too. Like, my sister went and bought Joy-Cons just so she could play ARMS and Mario Kart with me. So yeah, nice. I had another question for you guys. Do you like the new outfits? Do you think that they fit the Breath of the Wild atmosphere?
Well,
I guess
I don't know if the Tingle outfit fits Link.
It's really
he
tight.
might need. It's really tight. He might need to get a bigger
fan
size.
service. I'm
They couldn't stop talking about it at the treehouse. Remember when she first put it on? They're like, "Oh, I love the Tingle outfit." One of the other girls is like, "What is wrong with you?"
Aubrey, you're great. You're hilarious. You're full of personality. But when you start talking about the guy, Link or Xander or whatever, I just kind of get self-conscious of myself. And I'm just kind of like, well, I'm just never going to be able to match up to those guys. So I just, just kind of mute it or kind of ignore it.
They're not real.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, I know they're not. But, I know. I'm
always excited. I'm always excited to get more outfits.
Oh yeah, you would be like. Wasn't one of your original to-dos like get every single outfit multiple times to have every possible color option too?
Yeah, I'm still doing it. I have almost every color option of the Gerudo armor now.
Oh my gosh.
That's
how do you get money?
amazing.
What's your farming method for money?
Well, you can do the snow thing, but I find that boring, so I just sort of wander around the snow area shooting rhinos for meat, and I just sell the meat.
Okay.
Because that's more entertaining for
me.
See,
Will and I, my little brother Will and I, we found a cave that's in Farron Woods, or Farron Jungle, whatever it is, where it's right next to a ferocious spawn point, and you can just keep hitting his horn as soon as he spawns, and in 20 minutes you can have 40 of his horns and just go sell them all.
Nice.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah. Exploring's great to do in Zelda too, but if you just really need just money, you can just farm the horns.
Well, it's not like you can go and buy the Gerudo armor that often. You have to wait for every blood moon.
That's right. That's right. It's got to respawn.
So it takes forever.
Yeah.
If I was really serious about it, I'd probably map it out and go to each location and get every single armor set. But I'm just doing it casually for fun at the moment. Eventually, one day, I will have every armor set in every single color they possibly can, all the way maxed out.
All the way maxed out. Jeez.
Oh my gosh.
That's disgusting.
It takes...
That's amazing.
I don't... Oh, man. And it takes so long to scroll past my inventory of clothes.
Flick, flick, flick.
That's the whole reason why I didn't want to do this. It's like, I just scroll for hours.
If they were to make an update with the next DLC, being that you can make sets of armor and then like equip them to your down or whatever on your D-pad, so like how you can do with swords and shields and all that, and scroll through that would be the best thing for me. Because switching between Zora armor to climbing armor takes probably a full minute.
Right, because the Zora armor's on the first page and the climbing armor is after the Gerudo set.
And you have to find it. They move around depending on... Yeah, it's... I don't know.
How you sort it. Yeah.
That would be kind of cool.
So
I don't know. I'm these outfits are great because they just kind of combine all Zelda games and put them in here, and even Spirit Tracks, which is pretty great. But you know, their effects aren't that, you know, amazing per se.
Yeah.
I guess I wasn't really expecting anything new, but it would have been cool if they had some new effects. But then again, what kind of new effects could they have done? I don't know.
Right. I mean, the only two outfits that do something new are the Korok mask, which shake for the Korok seeds.
Oh, I guess that's true. The Korok.
And the Majora's mask is like you're combining all of the different heads of the monsters that Kilton sells you. But it's not a big deal.
But then you also have Tingles that allow... What was Tingle's ability? Wasn't it that Octorok balloons last longer?
No, it's a night speed boost.
Are you serious?
Yeah, just like the
That's
the
a bummer.
Sheikah.
That's a huge missed opportunity. If it just made it so your Octorok balloons were like impregnable or something.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be awesome if you could put the octa balloons on yourself and you're just like floating around in Tingle's outfit. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
And you just like float around shooting people, demanding them to buy your map. It'd be pretty great. So, yeah, I don't know. DLC Pack 1 looks good. I'm excited to see in like the hero's journey or whatever, to see all the different places I've been and to see what that map looks like. You guys who've collected all 900 seeds.
Is it going to start from now on?
No. It's the past 140 hours of your gameplay.
140.
Or something like that.
Crap.
140 plus. So it starts recording. The game has been recording your motion since you started playing, even from day one. And so...
Oh, this will be cool.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Find what I haven't checked out yet on the map.
Yeah. So... I think that's going to be awesome. Like, I can't wait to see like all of the zigzags and the loops that I make as I collected all of the seeds.
I think those who've collected all the seeds, it's just going to be green. Their whole map is going to be green.
Yeah. Well, at least you can use this now to find which bridges and stuff you didn't actually run into to get their names.
That's true. This is.
Well, I got all of them, so.
Poor Skyler.
It's a cool little update.
It's okay. I did it before it became cool. I'm just kidding. It took me a month.
Yeah, same. It takes a long time to do all this stuff, but anyway, I am excited for this DLC pack, and I'm also really excited for expansion pack number 2, which is the Champions Ballad. I mean, we don't know anything about it, but I think it'll be good. I
don't know. My excitement when they actually said they're going to have like a new story and a dungeon, that actually had me a little more excited than with the Champions Ballad, to be honest, because I just don't understand how it's going to work. But I imagine when I see it all, it'll be good. Right now I'm just kind of like, wait, what? How is this? What's this going to be? Anyway.
It's going to be locked behind DLC with your amiibos.
No, stop saying that, Skyler.
Speaking of those amiibo, I'm really jealous of Japan. They just announced, like, right before we started recording, that in Japan you can get all 4 champion amiibos in one amiibo pack.
Oh.
How expensive is that?
It's 6,480 yen. How much is that in dollars about, James?
About 64
It's about
bucks,
$65.
right?
Bucks.
Okay. So it's the same price as collecting them all individually. But
You said 6,480 yen?
yes.
Yeah, that's about $65.
Okay. Well, there you go. You can get them all for $65 because they're all a little more expensive than regular amiibo anyway.
It's true.
Yeah, well, that's the DLC pack. It is available tonight as of this recording. So those of you listening are probably like, these schmucks, they don't know what they're talking about. I've already played it. So, yeah, hope you enjoy it.
Thanks for listening to the Virtual Boys. If you made it this far, it means you've made it halfway, unlike my brother David, who's on the floor. He's given up. That means you get me, Dorothy, his little sister. I'm actually going to show up maybe a bit more on his website and podcast, but only if you support us on patreon.com. That's right, I'm premium content. You can go to patreon.com/Nintensity. Any amount of money would be awesome. We've recently partnered with Switch Nindies to get better Nindy coverage. That is Nintendo Indies for you Nintendo lay people out there like me. Check out Nintensity.com/Nindies to see our new hub, and follow at Switch Indies for Nintendo Indie News. We're also looking for content creators, so David ends up on the floor less, or maybe so he gets to end up on the floor more. I don't really know. If you're interested in writing about Nintendo news, or you already do that in your free time, send us an email through our contact page, Nintensity.com/contact. Let us know what you'd like to write, and we'll get right back to you. David's really quick at answering emails. I know, I'm his little sister, I send them to him all the time. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and Facebook. You can find us with Nintensity. That's an awesome name, and we have it on everything. It's the best. Tweet about the show with #VirtualCast with your questions, comments, and anything, and you could be featured on the show. It also helps us get the word out about our show. We don't pay for advertising, so you guys spreading the word to your family, friends, and Twitter followers really helps us grow. Thanks again for listening, and be sure to tweet at us with #VirtualCast. I'm gonna go get a blanket for David now. Bye-bye.
Our next topic today is the SNES Classic Edition. It is the successor to the NES Classic. Nintendo's just moving down the line, and maybe we'll get an N64 Classic someday. But anyway,
With none of the rare classics.
Yeah, you can't do an N64 Classic without Rare. Like, what do you have?
Exactly.
That's like half the library.
Well, I mean, they got some rare games on this one, but here,
You'll get Donkey Kong 64.
yeah, that'll be the only rare game. Anyway, let me read down the list of the 21 games that are in the SNES Classic. You have Contra 3, The Alien Wars, Donkey Kong Country, Earthbound, Final Fantasy 3, F-Zero, Kirby Superstar, Kirby's Dream Course, The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, Mega Man X, Secret of Mana, Star Fox 2, which is its first release ever, Street Fighter 2 Turbo Hyper Fighting, Super Castlevania 4,
Freaking edition.
Super Ghouls and Ghosts, Super Mario Kart, Super Mario RPG, Legend of the Seven Stars, Super Mario World, Super Metroid, Super Punch-Out, and Yoshi's Island. And that's the European and North American list.
Just a reminder that every game started with Super back in the 90s.
Yeah, it did.
Well, it's because it was the Super Nintendo.
It was the buzzword. Super.
It was like having a 64 out of the end of your game in the N64 era.
Yeah, exactly. I do want to mention the changes for the Japanese Super Famicom Classic. I don't know exactly what they call it. They added Fire Emblem Mystery of the Emblem, Panel de Pon, Super Street Fighter 2, The New Challengers, Super Formation Soccer, and The Legend of the Mystical Ninja. Those are coming to the Japanese Super Mini Famicom, and they
get more than we do?
No, they're missing Earthbound, Kirby's Dream Course, Street Fighter 2 Turbo Hyper Fighting, Super Castlevania 4, and Super Punch-Out. So We have about the
okay.
same number, and they're missing some of my favorite titles. Well, two of
Yeah.
them. But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty
They
good
did
list.
they got the best version of Street Fighter 2 though.
Yeah, that's
Japan
what's so
did?
funny. I don't understand.
Yeah. The new
I don't-
Challengers was the last version of Street Fighter 2 on the SNES.
They want
I
you to get it on
understand why-
Switch in the West.
Yeah, okay. But I don't know. It doesn't
Yeah.
quite make sense why we would get the hyper fighting version. Whatever. I mean, it's not like it matters anyway.
Super Hyper Fighting 3D
This is a
HD edition.
freaking amazing edition.
I mean, as cool as the title sounds, is you can only look as cool as Ryu with a Hadouken. I mean, that's pretty much it.
There you go. I do think it's also funny that Super Punch Out is not going to the Japan version. Just shows you how much of a bigger game it was in the West than it was in Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I
Punch
it was
feel
a
Out and
prize.
Earthbound. I think I'll take the US version over
Oh yeah.
Fire Emblem on the Japanese version.
Yeah, me too.
Plus, that Fire Emblem game hasn't even been translated, right? Did Mystery of
I'm
the
not
Emblem
sure.
come out anywhere in the U.S. on any system?
No, it
I'm
didn't.
un-
It
I'm
also got a
unfamiliar with this
remake,
one.
but the remake wasn't that good.
Okay.
No, it's the Shadow Dragon and Mystery of the Emblem are not very.
No, those are
Good.
kind of the weaker old Fire Emblem games. if I
Yet
remember
they
right.
focus on them so much.
Is Mystery of the Emblem the Marth's second game or no?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
it is. Oh, okay.
because Shadows of Valencia is the second Fire Emblem,
Yes.
if I remember right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
That I knew. But Mystery of the Album is the third. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's the third one, and it is Mark's second title. Yeah, I just looked
Got
it
it.
up.
The mystery of the emblem is how does it open up chests without a keyhole? that was the Fire Emblem. All it did was open up chests.
Why is this useless item so important? That's the mystery.
Why is this item so important? We'll never know. That's the mystery.
There it is, the mystery of the emblem. We solved it, Skylar. Well, no, we didn't. So, anything on this list surprise you other than Star Fox 2? We can talk about that in a minute.
I'm surprised to see third-party games on here. Were there third-party games on the NES?
There were a
Classic?
ton.
Oh, there were. Okay.
Yeah.
Because this is a really strong list. Chrono Trigger's missing. That's kind of the only big one
Yeah,
I
that's
can
a
think of off the top
bummer.
of my head.
I mean, they got Final Fantasy 3, but not Chrono Trigger. So,
Yeah.
Both of those are good games too. So
right.
They probably didn't want Square Enix to overrepresent.
That may be. I think it's really surprising we have Secret of Mana here instead of Chrono Trigger. Not saying that I do want to play Secret of Mana.
Secret of
but
Mana, I don't
it's
know.
just-
All three of those are really big. You have your, I don't know. If you were to ask the fans which ones they want, it'd be pretty evenly divided. I think.
Oh,
between the three.
I think so as well. Yeah, they,
I mean,
they
when
all
you-
have lots of representation online.
When you think about it, there's actually probably more chances to play Chrono Trigger right now, at least to the West, than there is Secret of Mana. At least if I am remembering right.
Yeah.
So
there are better
this is
versions
probably
of Chrono Trigger as
True.
well.
There was a remake.
Like the DS version's really good. It has more endings as well than the original Chrono Trigger, and has animated cutscenes and things.
So in the end,
It's
I'm
pretty
happy that
nice.
the Secret of Mana is on here. If they had to choose between Chrono Trigger and that.
Yeah, I agree. They of course have all of the super games, like we said. But we were talking before we recorded this podcast that it's kind of a shame that they didn't put Super Mario All Stars in some form in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, instead of Super Mario World, I think they just wanted to have Super Mario World as the
Like the
image,
poster
'cause
boy
that-
or something.
yeah, that's more recognizable to casuals than Super Mario All Stars. Because what is that?
Yeah.
It almost sounds like a sports game.
See,
Even though it's a better deal than Super Mario World, they probably wanted an excuse to have Super Mario World on the front
Well,
cover.
they also just made a Selects version of the All Stars from the Wii. Even they just recently made that not too long ago, so they probably want people to go buy that instead.
Even
for
though
the-
they
for
can only
the-
play that on their Wii U
For the
and
Wii?
Wii.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah, they did kind of the same thing with Kirby. They put a bunch of Kirby games on a disc as well.
Yes,
And They did it with Super Mario World as well. It's kind of like that demo disc that they did forever ago for the GameCube that had Ocarina of Time, Link to the Past, the original Legend of Zelda, and Majora's Mask, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And a demo to Wind Waker.
Yeah, the Nintendo Selects version of Super Mario All-Stars, which was originally in the limited edition, came out last year.
Really?
Oh, really?
Oh, whoa.
Yeah,
what?
for the Wii.
Well, a Nintendo
Yeah,
Selects version of it.
Yeah, the Selects version of the Mario All-Stars limited edition, which
For the
was
Wii
really...
U? Or for the Wii?
Yeah, for the Wii. For the Wii.
So
Wow.
strange.
So yeah, it came out last year, March 11th, 2016, which I thought was a really weird pick, but it did bring down the price of the original limited edition Mario All-Stars.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah,
So that used to be a collector's item.
I had no idea that they had recently re-released it. Well, there you go.
Yeah, so that's why it's not on this list. They'd be conflicting with their own profits.
Well, I actually think it's more of like what Jordan was saying, is that they don't want to confuse the people buying, and they want to show that we have Super Mario World. I actually think that's.
I mean,
more
they could have chosen the All-Stars version without Mario World.
Yeah. Well, that might be another reason, but I'm saying they have multiple reasons as to why it's not on here.
Dream
That's
Course
true.
is a weird pick. But drop Dream Course for Chrono Trigger or All-Stars is what we're saying.
Kirby
or
Dream
even-
Course is not a fun game.
Or even I think they had a Ninja Gaiden trilogy for the Super Nintendo. Throw that on. Anything over Dream Course, that one just makes no
What?
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kirby
they did
Dream
have a
Course is
Ninja
just
Gaiden
not a good
trilogy.
game.
Would you have wanted the rest of the Donkey Kong Country games?
I think
Oh yeah,
I would have loved it. Yeah.
At least DK Country 2.
Yeah. If they could have gone the second one, that would have made this so much better. But I mean, as of right now, having Donkey Kong Country and the rest of the games we have on here, I don't know. I'm pretty happy with what the mini
It's an
console
extremely
has.
solid list.
Yeah.
Yeah,
2000
and
never
maybe
play it.
somebody will come out with a mod for it like they did the NES, and you can install any ROM on it
Yeah. Who knows?
if you wanted to do that.
Yeah. We just all, like Jordan's saying, we just got to get a copy if we can.
Gotta find one.
Yeah, I doubt we'll find it.
Probably.
I think that this is going to be understocked, and distributors are going to make it really hard to find. They're going to hoard them themselves.
Well,
And it's super hard to get one right now. Like, none of the U.S. Retailers have open pre-orders yet. Like,
Because they're all discussing how they're going to keep them.
yeah, probably. I mean, it's crazy. Like, Europe, they've already opened all of theirs. All of their stock is already gone. Like, it was gone within minutes of them opening it. People are
Yikes.
hungry for these things. And
Yeah, I don't think it was people. I think it was distributors. Because for it to go out in minutes, you have to have a lot of people already prepared and know exactly when it's going to show up. And then you have these eBay stores that have 50 units
Yep.
in your inventory. So there is some insider trading going on.
yeah, it
It's
must
not.
be.
It's not just people sitting at their computer with the fastest button click
Yep.
on some.
It's the same
site.
thing that's happening with the Nintendo Switch right now, too.
Yeah,
You got scalpers online with 40, 50 units.
yeah. It's
selling them for
distributors are being
430 apiece.
dishonest.
Yep.
It's sad. So maybe they're trying. Maybe they're trying to think a way around it with these pre-orders. I don't know. I'm just wondering why they haven't put up the pre-orders yet. And is it just because they're distributing it to the companies, or is it that it's just waiting because they don't know how to
It could be
distribute
the companies don't know how much they're getting from Nintendo yet. Nintendo's doing analytics on how many they need to send out to each one, and so they don't want to oversell because that's a huge PR disaster.
Oh yeah,
So we'll see.
yeah. And the most
When does it come out?
October.
September 29th.
So it's
Yeah,
pretty
that's
quick here.
I think. Someone may
Yeah,
want
it is September 29th. I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
September 29th.
I think if they probably have the stock already made. I mean, for the most part.
Oh yeah, they definitely do.
Oh, absolutely. And the thing that is infuriating about Nintendo right now with this is they mentioned that they are only going to be making these through 2017, and they will not be making any more in 2018. It's like, well, then why bother in the first place? Like, not
Yeah. Well,
it's
everyone's
supposed-
going to get one.
Nintendo better release Star Fox 2 on the Virtual Console when it one day happens for the Switch.
I agree. It better be coming. Otherwise, they would need to make more SNES minis.
Yeah.
So true.
Because it's not really fair to the fans who've always wanted to play Star Fox 2 that refuse to pirate. Like, Nintendo's pushing people to piracy if they don't put it on Switch.
Yeah.
To do this.
I mean, I'm one of the people who are like, don't pirate the games or don't do the emulations or whatever. But it's kind of hard when Nintendo refuses to really release it in any other way.
It's the same situation with like Mother 3. Like, why don't you just release it? Yeah. It's infuriating, to be honest. And I hope that they do end up making more of them. And then that way scalpers won't be able to have them for much longer. But they didn't make any more of the NES classics, so who's to say they're going to do anything with the SNES?
For some reason, they have this thing where this is only like a holiday special kind of a thing.
Yeah.
I think it's just to boost their numbers for the holiday season, or that's what it originally was planned for. They have to keep their manufacturers printing out Switches as fast as possible because they're having a hard time keeping with that demand as well. And that takes more priority over than this NES Classic.
Oh, right. They need to sell the Switch way more than they need to sell the Classic.
So they have other problems going on. And so this is just a back burner issue. But it's kind of unfortunate.
It is.
Well, I'm sure some scalper somewhere is going to be happy with their 50 units.
They will. I mean, it's inevitable. Well, let's talk a little bit about Star Fox 2. This is the first time it's ever been released, like, legitimately.
Yep.
I don't know. It was a project that was worked on near the end of the SNES's life cycle, and it was being developed in England, I think, is what I read. And then just before it was completely finished, Nintendo's like, okay, we're done. Don't make this anymore, because the N64 was about to launch, and they didn't want to cut back from look at how pretty the 3D graphics are on the N64 to, ew, what are these ugly 3D graphics on the SNES? I mean, I'm paraphrasing, of course, but...
And then the creator of Star Fox 2 also claimed that Miyamoto stole a lot of ideas from Star Fox 2 for Star Fox 64.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, he came out in an interview with several different websites this week, and he's like amazed that Nintendo is releasing it. He's very happy, but he was very surprised. They apparently didn't talk to him about it before they decided to push it out. I mean, they didn't necessarily need to because they own it, but I mean, he's excited for us all to play it because it's so different from the other Star Foxes in a lot of ways, especially the fact that each level is different every time you play it. They're like semi-randomly generated. So that's kind of cool.
I imagine we'll see a lot of... game. Yeah, it's going to be a hard game. I don't know if I'll be able to get through it. I'm just not that good of a gamer. But I will say that it'll be fun to see the little gameplay mechanics that are going to be in Star Fox 2 that we can see in, like, Star Fox 64 or Star Fox Zero. Or something like that. Particularly Zero, because there's a few things that they definitely took from Star Fox 2.
The chicken walker.
Mm-hmm. Them chicken legs.
I think it'll be a great title to have available for the public to play, and it's nice that Nintendo's actually releasing it. Maybe this is a sign that we'll get Mother 3 eventually. Probably not.
Well, it's also interesting because it's going to bring 2 more characters in the Star Fox team as part of canon.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Effectively.
Who are they again?
Faye, the white dog, and then Miyu, who's the Lynx.
The Lynx, yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. Get some more canonical characters.
Furries.
Yeah, actually, so the creator of... so he also made the first Star Fox, so Argonaut Games or whatever. So they made both Star Foxes, and originally Star Fox wasn't supposed to be about furries, and Miyamoto jammed that in there, and Argonaut hated that. It wasn't their call.
Good old Miyamoto.
I mean, we love these characters and we love these games, but if you can get a Super NES Classic Edition, let us know. And let us know if Star Fox 2 is any good and if we should actually be excited for it, because I doubt any of us are going to get one.
I'm not paying $80 just for Star Fox 2. All these other games I have elsewhere because I have them on my collection of other things.
Yeah,
I do not have all these.
I don't have Secret of Mana, but I have most of these.
That alone, that game is worth the whole thing.
Yeah, I guess
if you bought a physical cartridge of it.
Yeah, if I could find a copy of the SNES Classic, I'll definitely get to pick it up. As for someone who never owned an SNES, who hasn't been much into buying a lot of virtual console titles, I think it's a great opportunity to go back and to play these games that I saw my friends playing and that I always have kind of wanted to try out. Obviously, I played Super Mario World and Link to the Past through other means, but Super Metroid, I definitely want to give that a try. And like you guys are saying, Secret of Mana and all these other games like Star Fox 2, I feel like for me, from the type of consumer I am, it's a great deal.
Yeah.
Well, if you can find one.
If I can find one.
$80.
If I can find one. I'm not gonna pay more than retail. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna go that far. It's more like because I'm stubborn, because I don't want to please the
The scalpers.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no reason to please them if you can find them, but I guess if you really need it for your collector's item, I guess it could be worth that scalper's price to some people.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's some people that are definitely going to go nuts for this just for the Star Fox 2 alone. Maybe not even through scalpers will be worth a lot.
I'm excited to see how this plays out, to be honest. It'll be something fun to just watch play out as we go. So, the SNES Classic Mini, or whatever it's called in your area, I learned today that it's actually called like 3 different things depending on the area you're in. It launches September 29th and is $80 if you can get it at that price. So, be sure to grab one if you're interested. Well, our final topic today that we'll spend the last little bit talking about is it has to do with this quote that we got from Nintendo's president Kimishima. He stated in a question involving Kirby anime and others, he said, "We'll look into investing toward film," with Shigeru Miyamoto adding, "We want to make anime for Pikmin, Star Fox, Yoshi, etc. and distribute it freely or integrate it into games." That's such an interesting statement to say from Nintendo, because they haven't gotten into like any sort of external media in a long time.
Yeah.
Well, they've been doing Pokemon for forever.
That's true, but that we can attribute that to the Pokemon Company and Game Freak, and they kind of do their own thing anyway. But
but they're technically under Nintendo,
right? And I totally get that. I totally agree. But for yeah.
For the every part, every member that's part of the Pokemon Company is owned by Nintendo by at least 50%.
So we can't get Tembo.
Well, no, I have a different. Well, they're like Treasure's done stuff for the 360 as well. Nintendo companies do it all the time, or studios do it all the time on other systems. Probably to get like the SDKs and see what other companies are doing, and probably just for like experimental purposes.
Yeah, it could be.
I think it's interesting. Do you mind if I talk real quick?
Go ahead.
I just think it's interesting that he mentions Pikmin and Star Fox and even Yoshi, because in the past we've had Pikmin shorts that Miyamoto was making himself, and we had that Star Fox little animated thing with the people who did Attack on Titan, if I remember right, and then Yoshi, we had a bunch of these Woolly World short things where it was like stop motion animation. So I wonder if that's what he's talking about, if they want to explore more in that field of animation and not necessarily make an actual like TV series, because he says just distribute it freely or integrate into games. So maybe that's just like a new
on top of this,
new way.
So it's Miyamoto saying this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in Japan, anime just means animation in general. It's not.
True.
It's not what we consider anime.
Right.
So it could be anything, even just like a Netflix series, because Netflix is coming out with a Castlevania series pretty quick here, which looks awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, this quote was translated by a fan, so it's not an official Nintendo statement or anything. This was done at a shareholder meeting, and somebody that was present was like, "Oh yeah, this is how I understood it," and so they probably said the word for anime when he probably meant animation. So.
Well, anime means
Well,
anime.
yeah.
Exactly. I mean, like, our sense of animation instead of, like, the Western's idea of what anime is. But, yeah.
Yeah. So I definitely think that's what he was basically meaning. And Miyamoto is a manga artist. At least he dreamt of being a manga artist. So I wouldn't be terribly surprised if he wanted to, do these side projects with Pikmin and Star Fox.
So, now, expanding away from that, should Nintendo actually branch off and make, like, anime series or TV series or movies about their franchises?
I think they have to go about it carefully. Not necessarily not. I don't mean for them to not take risks. Risks can be good. However, you got to go about it the right way. And obviously, what they did with Super Mario Brothers movie was perfect, and they should do that all the time. No,
it is the most perfect form of media you can ever consume.
Nintendo, it has peaked. They can't go back. No, what I'm saying is the
director doesn't disagree.
Yeah, they need to have more of a hand in it, and they need to make sure that it's not just handled by someone outside of the company, and that Nintendo doesn't have any say in it. They got to make sure it's like an equal partnership, and that their quality control is still there. That being said, I definitely think that they could do it, but again, it's a careful process, or it needs to be.
I can definitely agree with that. I mean, we had the Kirby anime Right Back at You, which was actually fantastic. Well, at least in my child mind when I watched it. And I think that they could do something really fun with another IP.
I think some of the series that would translate really well, such as Star Fox, Fire Emblem, and Kid Icarus, are fine. But do not do Metroid, not after Other M.
Yeah, and if they do Metroid, which I really want them to do, I would love a Metroid series. They need to be extremely careful with it, and it should not be the first one. Yeah,
I don't think they're capable of doing a Metroid TV show.
Okay, here's what I think. And David and I were actually kind of talking about this earlier. I actually think Metroid would fit very well in a movie, a live-action movie, and it would be more along the lines of the movie it's based off of, or heavily influenced by, Alien. And not necessarily saying that it needs to be an exact carbon copy, but the mood and the atmosphere with that movie kind of put into a Metroid feel. Anyway, sorry, Jordan, what were you going to say?
There's a few problems, because they tried to make Metroid into a movie a while ago, and the writers came back saying it was just too hard to write a movie script for Metroid, because the story structure of Metroid does not translate well into film. She's alone, she doesn't talk, she has a very limited backstory. There's not a whole lot of character to Samus, because that's not the point of the game. And so trying to jam that into a movie-styled plot structure, it just kind of is a little jarring, kind of really difficult to work around. And that's one of the reasons why they made Other M, to try and flesh Samus out, and it just exploded in Nintendo's face.
Yeah, I totally get where you're coming from, and if we're talking about like the original Metroid and Super Metroid kind of games where she is isolated, even Metroid Prime, that's gonna be really hard.
Every single one except for Other M and
Corruption,
to an extent, Fusion.
Corruption's the same way. So in Corruption, you have other hunters that and the Federation Force. But
they only show up every now and then, though.
That's what I'm saying. Like you can have the interaction with these characters, and obviously Other M didn't do a very good job at it. But I think you can do a good job. I think you can have actual dialogue between these characters, and not just have Samus monologue the whole time. We don't need to we don't need to know every single thing that Samus is thinking in order to have a good character. And so that's why I think a movie would be good, because we wouldn't get like in a TV series, we wouldn't get all the details you need to fill like 12 season TV series. In the movie you could still focus on the some of the aspects of the horror and the thrill of the Metroid, and then bring in some of the character development and interaction with the Galactic Federation and the Hunters, or maybe not both per se, but anyway, that's my thought.
I don't think you could fill in a full feature-length film, especially not a season. But I could see probably like a small web series, maybe like they did with the latest Pokemon web series, where it's just like 3 to 4 minute videos online, and then because like with just 3-minute videos, it kind of comes across as just like Samurai Jack, where there's not a whole lot of talking and wandering around. It's all about the animation and the atmosphere, and that could work with Metroid.
Yeah,
but I don't think too long and too much of a story narrative focus is the right approach for Metroid.
Yeah,
fair enough.
I think that's fair.
I think a live action would work really well, but that's just my thought.
I do want to say that if they did some sort of series, the type of story that they could go for would probably be based around the manga that they released back in 2002. If they were to do something, and I'm not saying that they have to or whatever, but I feel like that story would be pretty good for some sort of series narrative. I mean, yes, the manga focused a lot on some of the events that happened in Super Metroid and in Metroid Zero Mission, but a lot of the backstory of what Samus was like before she became a hardened bounty hunter would be a really fun idea to explore. I mean, they would have to do a lot better of a job than they did with Other M for sure, but I mean, we've already kind of talked about that. I just wanted to put that out there.
No, yeah, I think like doing an anime adaptation of manga would totally be an interesting like mini series or kind of a thing. I think that would be a lot of fun. Yeah. I don't know, like it just would be interesting to see Nintendo actually try to go into these other mediums of entertainment. I don't know if they can or they will. Obviously, you have to get other companies to get on with you, especially for a live action or the an actual animated series. So I don't know. We'll see if anything ever comes of that. I guess we better understand that Miyamoto was probably just talking about his little shorts that he does with the Pikmin and
yeah
stuff like that.
Now, Skylar, would you watch another Kirby right back at you?
By this point, probably not. I watched a lot as a kid, but I don't know if I'd watch it again.
Well, I mean, a new one, like another Kirby anime.
I don't know, maybe my brother or something. What I really want is like a Smash Brothers anime.
That'd be pretty cool.
That would have been sick. Then you just cross over everything, and they could take down some, existential being or something. I don't know, like they did in Brawl, but a little more, fleshed out.
Nintendo animated universe, basically. So all they make a bunch of animes, and then they all like tie in together and it become Brawl.
I was thinking about this the other day.
They just all collide. It'll be great.
Do the Marvel thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Where everything started off individually, and then they bought all the rights to everything, and then just were like, hey, let's make an extended universe where they're all connected.
Exactly.
And it works. I love it.
I was thinking about that the other day, and I thought, if actually was thinking of the Nintendo Cinematic Universe. Not saying everything would work live action, because not everything would.
No.
But I was thinking about Zelda, and when I was younger, I always thought that Zelda fit the Lord of the Rings kind of a style. But now that I'm older and think about it, I don't know if that would actually quite work. Maybe it would be better if it was animated. I don't know. I always dreamt of a live action movie, but now I don't know if I want one for Zelda anymore. Maybe just a TV animated series would be better. I don't know. I
mean, IGN teased us that one April Fool's years ago with that live action trailer.
That was hilarious. So. It got me. And hilarious you call it definitely got me.
Yeah.
I thought the Ganondorf was
so
weird,
bad.
But I thought the Ganondorf was so weird looking. I was like, no, this can't be
real.
And then it wasn't, or they had the date on it. It was like, what? No, what? And then I realized that it was fake. I was like, okay.
Yeah. Well, are there any other final comments on Nintendo branching their IPs into external media?
Well, I actually, I want to see them. I do want to see them invest in film. Like Kimishima said, that they're looking into it. I want them to do it, and I hope they make the right choices and not just go do like lol, whatever, whatever happens, but just take their time and think about it and try to put out something good.
Have we gotten a good video game to film movie yet?
Yeah,
Because even the new Assassin's Creed was bad, and Ubisoft put a ton of money into
Professor Layton was amazing.
Yeah, but that doesn't count because that wasn't live action. We're talking.
Oh, you're talking live action? Well, that's different.
Oh.
Yeah, no.
If you're just talking in general, there have been. But
there have been, sure, in animation. I think Kid Icarus would probably be the most interesting to see.
I would love to see Kid Icarus in animation.
True.
I'd love to see all that fourth wall breaking everywhere.
You bring a good point, Jordan. There hasn't really been a good live action adaptation of video games. I don't know. I don't know what it is inside me just that wants to see a good one and feels like it could be done. But then again, it hasn't been done.
It's probably just not really possible with most games. The story structure is just so different.
True.
It's so weird an Assassin's Creed game wouldn't work.
Well, they tried to expand the universe by making their own story for it.
I heard that Uncharted's getting a live action movie.
I think it's canceled at this point.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Uncharted and Mass Effect have been in development hell for probably 10 years now.
Oh, really?
So I don't think it's happening.
I don't know if I'd want a movie of Mass Effect. There's so many options.
I don't think I want a Mass Effect. Well, maybe the original trilogy.
There's a canon. There's a canon route. So
I guess the canon route would be. Yeah, I mean there has.
Yeah, for the majority of the game, yeah, except for maybe the ending.
Pick up. The game.
Yeah. I guess they have preset things.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't necessarily say it's canon.
Sure.
But there are presets.
But I guess that could work. I do feel like Uncharted would be a good idea for a movie because it is somewhat cinematic.
Only if they get Harrison Ford and have him be Sully.
Yeah,
that would be so amazing.
Perfect. Oh, I had a good idea for who Nathan Drake should be, but
you have to do Nathan Fillion for Nathan Drake.
You think so?
From Firefly. Oh yeah, they look exactly the same and sound exactly the same.
Yeah.
He's the perfect fit.
I guess you're right.
So throw Nathan Fillion in as Nathan and Harrison Ford as Sully, and you have the dream team, from heaven.
So why aren't we casting this? Anyway,
our podcast is now shifting over to how we would cast movies based on video games.
I don't know. I for some, it's just probably the video game fan in me. I feel like it can be done. I don't know, and it has been given the chances. It really has, but man, I don't know. I do want it to happen, and maybe a Nintendo IP can be the first one to make the first one to the reimagining or the new step for Nintendo into the film industry. But anyway, I'm just rambling now.
Well, I think that's just about it for this episode. We've been going on for a little over an hour. Be sure to catch us next week when we cast the cast for the official Mario remake movie. It's the same story as the original Super Mario Bros. Movie, but we're going to get new cast in here. Just kidding. Yeah. We don't do that.
Trevor Else is playing Luigi.
Yes.
Who else?
Hi.
Who would play Bowser?
I don't know.
He's got to be a mob boss guy.
You guys are taking my joke too far.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. Maybe
Not
we will
far
do
enough,
that one
David.
day.
Not far enough.
Oh, sorry. But James, I thought you said that this was the perfect movie.
Yes,
anyway.
but perfection can always be more perfect. Okay, this makes sense. Shut up now.
All right. Well, before we end this episode, I'd like to thank you, our listener, for joining us. Your support means a ton. We want to give a shout out to our patrons, Chris and Chase, for their amazing support, and none of this would be possible without your help. If you want to join with them in supporting the podcast, head over to patreon.com/Nintensity. Again, that's patreon.com/Nintensity, and we've got lots of cool rewards set up over there. That's it for this episode of the Virtual Boys podcast. Thanks for tuning in this week. Don't forget to subscribe and rate us on iTunes, and we'd also like to remind you to check out our website at nintensity.com, where you can find news, show notes, and more. This week's show notes are available at ninten.city/EP57. Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you next time.
See ya.
Bye.
Goodbye, you good people.